Congratulations on your new griddle. I'm going to give you the 8 accessories that you need, nothing else, and stick around to the end because the last one will probably surprise you, but trust me, it's the most important one. You got to have it. We'll start off with the boring utensils, okay? The boring accessories, things that aren't that fun, but you really just got to have. Obviously, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. You need spatulas. Like, why would you not need spatulas? You bought a griddle, you know? Like, preference-wise on spatulas, I don't have a huge preference, man. There's a ton of different spatulas out there. I am not gonna sit here and pretend that I've tried every spatula on the market. Like, I've had a bunch of them. I worked in restaurants for 20 years and diners and stuff, so I've used a bunch of them, but I'm still pretty sure that, you know, they're all pretty much the same. They probably all come from the same factory in China, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Look, I like to have one that kind of is aerated with holes and one maybe that's not. Sorry for the glare. And then the other thing is, if you can see here, just a beveled edge. If you can get some with a beveled edge, it's gonna help you get under the crust on stuff. Specifically maybe some smash burgers or something that you're putting down into that hard griddle surface. So other than that, you know, whatever tickles your fancy in the spatula world, go ahead and grab those. Number 2, squirt bottles. I mean, you need these: oil, water. I use water to clean the griddle. Some people don't. I do. I have a cleaning video. I'll put it somewhere at the end. But oil, you'll definitely want oil in these bottles. They will melt. You gotta be careful if you get them close to the side. That's what happened to my cooler down there. I shooting a video and left this cooler near the side and it got pretty melted. It's all right, still keeps the beer cold. But yeah, you definitely want to have these. You could put other sauces in here. You know, you can start doing your ketchup, your mustard, teriyaki. You want to do a stir fry night or hibachi or fried rice, whatever you want to call it, teppanyaki or whatever. So definitely get some squirt bottles. They're like dirt cheap too. Buy a 6-pack, buy a 12-pack. When they go bad, just throw them away. You'll definitely want some squirt bottles. Okay, so next we have scraper. This is different. I did this video probably 3 years ago. I did one like this when I first got my griddle, and this is a change that I've made. I had to buy new utensils actually, which prompted me to do this video because we're moving out of our condo and I busted a pipe in the ceiling of the kitchen and it kind of got this chemical and everything from the bathtub all over the kitchen. So I was like, I don't really want those utensils that were sitting in that. And I threw them all away along with like half of my kitchen stuff, which is, it was a very sad moment for me in a very hectic week. But long story short, my son put a Hot Wheel down the bathtub drain, got stuck. I tried to get out with chemical. The pipes were 112 years old and it eroded them because the chemical was so strong. Because I got the good stuff, you know, that chemical at like Lowe's that was like in a bottle and then in a bag, like that's what I got, which was a bad idea. I digress. So anyways, when the video I did like 3 years ago, I had a scraper on there, but it's more of a, like a dough cutter, I think is what they call it. This one is more of a spackle. Same purpose for both of these: cleaning, scraping up, flipping smash burgers, prepping veggies. It really same purpose. I ended up liking this one better now because it is a little further away. Your hand gets to be a little further away, so it can do all the same things, but your hand's further away from the griddle. And it felt like I had a little more control with this handle than I did with the long handle. So this one's from Blackstone. It came with a cleaning kit. I'm sure you can get it by yourself. I'll link all the accessories in the description below. But I like this better than the dough scraper now. I would highly recommend some sort of like beveled edge spackle knife is what I would call it. Okay, up next we have our warming rack. Now I've used a couple different warming racks. I've used a round warming rack. I've used a really big warming rack. I'm about 3.5 years into owning this griddle. It's a residential griddle. I mean, I've worked in restaurants since I was 15 years old. So over 20 years of experience cooking on them, but residential griddle wise, this little rack is the best. The round one I didn't like. It took up too much space. The big one that was like about a half sheet pan or like a cookie cooling rack, took up way too much space. This guy's the best. It doesn't take up too much space. You don't need to put that much on there usually. However, what I will say is buy 2 of these. They're like $9 on Amazon. They're dirt cheap. They're like 5 by 10. If you have 2 of them, you can put them together. And then if you don't need 2 of them, you can take one off. If you don't need either of them, you can take them off. But the big old racks, the round rack, it was too much. I didn't think it was necessary. And going with the warming rack is the dome. So the dome is great. The dome comes in handy for a lot of stuff. Comes in, first of all, with the warming rack, what it goes with is you can do like biscuits, you can do cinnamon rolls, you can put a steak on there, you can do whatever you want and put it under there and just kind of make a little oven, a mini oven on your griddle. So that's good. After that, the dome also is great for melting cheese. Maybe it's on an omelet or just some eggs or some burgers and you just want to squirt down some water, put the dome down, melt some cheese, perfect. That works well for that. You can do popcorn with the dome. Not a lot of people talk about that. Popcorn's super easy, super fun, especially if you have kids, to put it on there. Put the kernels, move it around with the dome. Also, the other thing with the dome, like I already mentioned, melting cheese, but what I do a lot is I'll do eggs. Like if you want to do sunny side up eggs, but you're a little worried about waiting or you think the bottoms will burn before the top sets up, I'll kind of like baste an egg under the dome. So I'll put a lot of water and then, it turns into steam and then I'll kind of baste eggs that way. So lots of uses for the dome. I would highly recommend getting one, cover, dome, whatever you want to call it. Speaking of covers, you need to get a hard cover. Just touch on this real quickly. Like I said, I did a video, 3 years ago. And not many griddles came with hard covers. I don't know why, but if you got one, you really got to get one. If you got a griddle that didn't come with one. Now, a lot more griddles come with them, which is great. I'm glad they finally changed. They're doing that. This makes more sense. But still, there's some that don't come with them. You can find aftermarket stuff on Amazon if you have a Blackstone or if you have a Camp Chef or a Razor or a Traeger. Traeger comes with it, I think. What else have they come out with? The new Weber comes out. It has one. So really, if you just bought one without it, you can find an aftermarket cover. But you want one, to help prevent rust and any animals from getting on there in the middle of the night or something. You don't want to wake up, have a couple of raccoons like having a party on your griddle or something, Smash burger press. I thought a long time about this one being essential or not. It's hard. I guess you can do your smash burgers with 2 spatulas. It's not a big deal. It's not hard. Parchment paper, 2 spatulas, press them down, boom, you got smash burgers. This makes it a lot easier. I don't know if that makes it necessary. I think what then makes it necessary for me is sometimes I'll use it on potatoes, hash browns, bacon, something else to like speed something up. Like to, I don't like really always, the burgers I smash down, everything else I'm not smashing, but it's just like, I'm speeding the process up. Like I think these potatoes need to go quicker or something. We used to do this a lot when I worked in diners back in right out of college. They would have a weight and these potatoes need to go quicker. You put the weight on there. It just kind of puts a little more weight onto the griddle and speeds them up. So you probably won't be the end of the world if you don't get this, but I find myself using it a lot, like a lot. Bonus tips. I'm just gonna go through these real quick because they're really necessary, but you probably already have them. So trash can, you're gonna want a trash can outside probably because you're gonna have a lot of trash and stuff. Probably even a little more than when you would do a regular grill, if you're used to a regular grill, or even a pellet grill or a smoker, because you kind of bring the meat out, throw it on. You're gonna have a couple more ingredients outside because there's a lot more you can do on the griddle. Trash can for sure. Table, you probably already got some outdoor table. If you don't, you're gonna wanna get one. That's just the same as any grill. It just helps to have a little extra space out there to put it on there. Then also some sort of tray to carry everything out. I use cookie sheets a lot because that's just what I have. I'm looking into getting some sort of like maybe half pan or a tub or something to help contain everything a little bit more. I don't have the exact idea what I'm getting yet, but I'm not putting any link to anything. Any tray will do, any pan, whatever you want to bring it out in. You're transporting it out. a decent amount of ingredients to the griddle, and then you're bringing them back in. Just imagine if you've been to a Japanese steakhouse. You know, they got a little cart and they got trays with rice and stuff. Like, that's what you're gonna do. Like, you're gonna be going out there with like your little smash burger balls, your parchment paper, and your burger sauce, and your buns, and your oil, and your water. So just, you know, you'll need something to transport it out, and possibly and maybe you don't already have storage outside. Then a table, then a trash can. But you probably already have those things. The final, most important thing every new griddle owner needs, in my opinion, is an infrared thermometer. Everyone needs one. These griddles cook at different temperatures in different parts of the country or in different parts of the world. I have people all over the world. I got a lot of people in Canada, some people in Europe. Hey, everybody. You need this. You don't know what temperature it's gonna be. They get hotter, some get cooler. Low on mine is not like low on other people's. This is my 2-burner. Low on my 2-burner is not like low on my 4-burner outside. Like, so it's just, you need to know your temperatures, and that way you can cook better food. Eventually, will you maybe not need this? Will you get good enough to where you don't need this? Yeah, probably. You could. Most people do. Like, I don't have to use it every time myself, but I still do use it a lot, because I'm not like going off of pride and arrogance, just like, oh, I don't need a thermometer to help me. I've been cooking for years. Sorry, that's just a lot of comments I get. But it's not about that. It's not about saying how cool of a cook you are because you can do something without a thermometer. It's about helping people learn how to use the griddle. And just got one, which is why I think this is the most important thing. And you will not be disappointed. They're like 25 bucks, man. Like, again, I'll put a link down there, but I don't care. Go to Lowe's, you can find one for like 25 bucks. Like Harbor Freight, whatever, Home Depot, Menards, I don't know, save big money, whatever you're into, right? But you definitely need one of these. I would highly recommend getting it. And then when you get it, then you need to know what temperature are you cooking different foods at on the griddle. That's why you got this, right? Good question. So you should watch the video up on your screen now, where I go over what temperatures I like to cook foods at on the griddle. So you will know, and then you're less likely to make a lot of mistakes or anything when you first get your griddle fired up. Thanks for watching. Congratulations again. Keep on griddling.